awesome. Thank you so much.
But they just didn't really grasp to it because it was what everybody was teaching.
Let me see if I can just
And I was talking about this stuff, and people knew they needed it.
on the classic climb.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl Ericka from the Classy Climb blog. Voice a little bit better, feeling a little bit better. I just want to talk about Skynet and why Skynet is soft liberal racism. And I know you're like, what, Ericka? What? Yes, Skynet. It won't be that someone will be like Donald Trump in your face saying he doesn't like you. And again, I don't care whether Donald Trump's racist or not. I don't care. I'd rather someone be clear and upfront about what they want from me or expect from me. There's a thing called bigotry of low expectations. And you guys should go learn that, what that means. This means when someone thinks, oh, you poor dumb person, because of whatever your description is, you are this, right? Okay, so listen, what do I mean by Skynet is changing the game and changing levels. Even in the conversation we have here on YouTube, you can tell. Skynet's already removed you from the system. Okay? Now let me go ahead here. Cashing checks. 55% of people in America are underbanked or unbanked. That means they go to cash checking places. They use PayPal. They use Walmart to cash their money. I told you guys that when I would go into Walmart to send $1,000, people, they were in there like, whoa, like you send $1,000? And for a while I thought, well, that's just weird because they see money all day. And the lady kept telling me, honey, I promise you, nobody comes in here sending more than $300 to $600. Whether it's to family, it's to pay bills, they rarely see more than $300, $600. And I just thought, okay, that's just her. But then I kept coming in there for another 2 months, having to send this money to a particular driver. And each person's reaction was the same. They were like, yeah, we really don't get $1,000 plus at a time. So when I talk about truckers having a higher than usual income and still not knowing what to do with it, that's an example of Skynet. Like, these guys make big money every week in comparative to the United States, $1,000 to $2,000 a week, and ultimately, you know, anywhere from $4 to $10 grand a month, gross, not net, of course. And so they are living in this upper echelon, but they don't know what to do with the money, where to invest the money. Again, that's Skynet segueing you out of the population, right? Now, YouTube is a big barrier breaker. A lot of you can watch videos and educate yourself on where to start putting investments, but a lot of it you don't know unless you search for it, right? And many people aren't searching. So banks, debit cards, credit cards. There's the dude from the movie, like Catch Me If You Can, right? He says to this day, and of course, you know, people have their issues with him. He doesn't use debit cards. He only uses credit cards. He only uses the bank money. If you ever go notice, if something happens to while you're online shopping with your debit card, guess what? The bank might take 30 days. They might take 60 days to get your money back. But when it comes to the credit card, they are guaranteeing their money and then some. Please go pull out if any of you have credit cards, go read when you first got your credit card, if you keep that paper, which you should, but read what they cover. When you go get a rental car, oh yeah, we don't cover this. Your credit card covers $10,000 already. Oh, we don't cover that. Other things your credit card covers is up to $10,000 to $100,000. Why? Because the banks are always going to protect themselves. This is why Amex and several of the credit cards started taking people to the bank and started taking people to court to get their money. Okay? Keyword, their money. Okay? Because they are essentially, this product, credit cards, what is a tool. And now you're going to say, well, Ericka, it's just about habits, and black people and different people have bad habits of spending. No. Again, there are systems in the algorithm, aka Skynet, the algorithm that you even get approved for some of these things. Your zip code matters. I've actually put different zip codes on applications and noticed the credit card got approved. Now, this is one of my business offices. And notice the credit card got approved immediately. All right. I put Westlake instead of Pflugerville. Pflugerville has 1 in 5 people are black. Just going to go there. 1 in 5 people, 1 in 4 people have low income in Pflugerville. I put my Westlake office. And all of a sudden, I'm approved for a higher amount. There are things in the algorithm and the base in the computers that they know. They have an ideal. They have a grouping percentages that people in this particular part of Westlake, on average, have $1 million homes and live in $300,000 apartments and have business offices over here, right? Same thing with Shoal Creek parts of Austin, Texas, and Arboretum area. You're talking about $1 million homes. You're talking about $5 million homes. You're talking about business offices. Different approval rates, okay? So again, why did the guy say that? On the credit card, they gonna make sure that money come back tomorrow. They're going to cover it different. Again, if you ever go watch, I love Dave Ramsey, but only for the point he's teaching people discipline. When you have an actual credit card, you're only supposed to use what you make a month. It's just supposed to be a replica of that, right? That's it. Not for you to have these $30,000, $50,000 spending amounts. You spend it and then take 2 years to pay it off. That was never what credit cards were for. Real estate. Okay, prime example why I'm big on people on new construction and USDA loans. You need to move further out. Point blank period. You can always move back in, but you lose the window of moving out and moving out cheaply. Now let me go ahead and say this. If you were in Austin 7 years ago, Georgetown was the move. Round Rock was the move. Pflugerville was the move. You talk to young people who are all about going downtown. Oh, that's crazy. That's so far away. Every single one of those people I know from 8 years ago who have a home in those areas that people thought were so far away are now considered the suburbs of Austin. And they've gained $100,000 to $200,000 in equity in their home. Let me say it again. They've got $100,000 to $200,000 in equity in their home in the span of 7 years. Okay, the townhouses that used to be $150,000 that people would get into. I would hear teachers go, well, I just don't know. I'm just trying to wait on getting married. And again, a lot of women make this mistake. I'm gonna wait till I get married to find this husband and da da da. And guess what? Now they're 40 with no home and actually no way to get into a home. Not in this area of Austin. Not even in Hutto, because Hutto's going up to 400,000, right? So a lot of people, what they've done is lock themselves out of the market completely, and Skynet helps push that along, right? Now, let me just go ahead and say it. On average, let's just do the numbers here. Statistically, you're going to switch jobs every 2 to 3 years. You already know to get approved for a mortgage, you're going to need consistent 2 to 3 years at one job, right? At least consistent 2 years tax returns. And no big blemishes in that 2-year gap. No big collections either. Okay? Now, there's different programs, but I'm just going to say that to short term it. If you know the average person stays in a job for 2 years, what's the number one thing you see people do when they get a new job? They get a new car. They get a new car. And you talk to them about, why are you getting a new car? Right? Because in that 2 to 3 window, they're going to switch jobs again. And now they have this car and they switch jobs and the market is different. Their payments are different. They're stressed, all that stuff. Get the house first, baby. Then get the car. Now, many people in the comments said in a couple of videos ago, well, Ericka already got the car. What am I going to do? Honey, you got to go make more money. You're going to have to see what the pre-approval says. Okay? Also, with the real estate issue, people that are owners, more investments, more savings, more different. It's just a different level of safety, security, stability. And movement choices. The people that are leaving California and are happy to leave are people who had a home and they sold their home and took that money and moved it to somewhere else. They're voting with their feet. California is flooded with people now who a lot of them can't own, don't own, potentially homeless, low income. We want the skilled people to stay. Now people are acting like, well, tech. It's not just tech. We just need skilled people, period. Right? Texas right now is so short on plumbers that they've changed the rules for what qualifies as a plumber. Just because we're that depth of short. Now, if I could tell you anything, I can't stop everything that the algorithm's going to do to some people in the future. But again, if half the people in America, 55% of Americans are underbanked, are basically using Walmart for their checks. Okay? How do banks stay open? By making loans to who? Business owners. Okay? Pay attention. Okay? So what did Joe Biden say? Which I'm going to do a video on Friday. Joe Biden put some more money out there for who? Business owners. My phone rang. I knew something was happening because my phone, all my phones, all 4 of them rang nonstop yesterday. And it was all marketing and capital companies saying, hey, we can get you approved for the new money. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What new money? Now, I had already watched about it, but I had to play stupid on phone. It was because they already know they're ready to tap into that access. Because even if these companies get, help $1 billion get moved to business owners and they get 1% off that, do the math. They win, okay? That's how a lot of these companies were overwhelmed with PPP and doing the PPP, but they needed the money to flow through their business. So, of course, they just kept taking help on business owners. What are you seeing with the crate challenge? Boredom, nothing to do. Right now here in Austin, they have a bunch of break-ins at Montbonnell where people are breaking in the cars. This is a state park where people hike up and down a hill, walk around. It's an affluent area. Like, just to get you, it's $1 million homes over there. $2, $3, $4, $5 million homes. Now, I know if you're in California, you're like, well, Ericka, $1 million homes don't mean anything. Maryland, your $1 million home doesn't mean anything. Here in Texas, $1 million home is 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, gated community, etc., etc. You know the difference. You should have seen enough videos from me now to know the difference, okay? And they're having petty crime over there. So you already see people are doing boredom crime, petty crime, breaking into cars, stealing packages off porches. So much so that Texas has now made it a felony to steal packages off porches. Who is that aimed to? That's aimed to the boredom crowd. That's aimed to the petty crowd. That's aimed to the poor man crimes crowd. Again, why do people who rob banks get 20 years and people who, let's just be honest, murder and rape and all the other stuff get 2 to 5 years on average? While the guy who robbed a bank gets 20 years. It's a money crime. It's a money crime. So again, a lot of times people fight me on this channel on, well, Ericka, everything can't be solved with money. The reason your cousin Pookie and them is in jail is over money. The reason your child support is bothering you is because it's money, okay? It's your money. Not that you need to see your child every day, because that's never the people's argument. It's the fact that they have to pay for that child. Let's go ahead and go. Let's keep it a buck, okay?